Hello, welcome to another video on list pages. I believe this is our fourth video overall. So let's jump right in. So today our first example is going to be with purchase agreements. So just to kind of reinforce the different ways which we can get to our work, I'm going to come over to the navigation pane to the left of your screen. I'm going to come and select the modules. I'm going to find procurement and sourcing, select procurement and sourcing, and then come down where I see purchase agreements, select the drop-down arrow and select purchase agreements once again. So one of the difficulties in DAX 2012 that we currently have is we can't search on the vendor name. So as you can see, it looks like you can't search on the vendor name. There's no drop-down arrow for us to be able to filter that column. However, if you look to the left under vendor account, we can select the drop-down arrow under vendor account. And in the filter box to the right, we see another drop-down arrow. If we select that drop-down arrow, we get this populated box that has all the vendors with the vendor account, the vendor name, and some current data in reference to that vendor. So as you can see, each of these columns is now filterable. So I can come up to the name field, select the drop down. Again, I have my filter options. I'm going to select begins with. We will use Staples as it's a very popular vendor with the city of Columbus. Select apply. And as you can see, all the vendors that begin with the word Staples has now been applied, and we have filtered our column. So I'm going to select Staples Business Advantage. The vendor number is automatically applied to our filter box. I select apply again. And now all the purchase agreements associated with Staples Business Advantage has populated, making it very easy for us to get to a purchase agreement that we're looking for. Another option that we have, we'll just stay on this list page, is as I discussed last week, I can come up to the top of a column. It doesn't matter which column you choose. I can right click. I get another box with multiple options for me to choose from. One of those options here is export all rows. I then select that option, and I have an option to export this list page to Excel. I select download, and as you can see here in the right corner, I get this little bell here. I've got a little ring to let me know, and that is the system letting me know that I have a message. And as you can see, I can show messages. I can select that, and it tells me that my export has been completed. Another way that I can see that is down here in the bottom left corner. This pop-up box appeared to let me know that my file has been exported to Excel. So I'm going to come down here to the bottom left of the screen, and I'm going to open up Excel. One of the things that we currently use in DAX 2012 is Ctrl-T. That will no longer be available in Dynamics 365. Again, Ctrl-T will no longer be used or allowed in D365. So you're just going to go to the top of the column. Again, as you can see, this is now populated in Excel. Right-click, export all rows. Very simple, very intuitive. Another option that you have is in this top right corner, you see several icons. One of those icons is the Microsoft logo. Again, just the secondary way in which you can complete the same task. As I hover over it, it says open in Microsoft Office. I select, and then again, I get this box with multiple options. I want to export this purchase agreement list page. And again, I get this pop-up where I can download, and then I can come to the bottom left of the screen, and I can open up this list page in Excel. One of the other kind of lack of better terms, pet peeve currently with DAX 2012 is that you're only able to save your Excel spreadsheets to the Z drive. That will no longer be the case. As you can see, I have my Excel spreadsheet. I can select File, and I can select Save As, and you will be able to save your Excel spreadsheet to any drive that has been mapped to your computer. So you no longer have to only use the Z drive. Again, you will be able to save these Excel spreadsheets to any drive that's been mapped to your computer. Just very briefly to recap, I can come over to above a column, I can select right click and export all rows, or I can come up to the top right of the screen and I can use this Microsoft Office. Again, allowing me to get to the same place multiple different ways, whichever one is easiest for you. So for our next example, we are going to go to purchase requisitions. As you can see, we're already in procurement and sourcing. So I'm going to go to purchase requisitions and select all purchase requisitions. So for this example, we are going to go and pull up a specific purchase requisition. So we are going to use PR 356311, select apply, select the purchase requisition, and here we have our purchase requisition. Off to the right of your screen, you can see this box. It's titled Related Information. Again, I have it minimized. I like to keep these minimized because I feel like my screen is not as cluttered. Just with anything else, I have this nice arrow pointing to the left. I can select it, and I have all these options that now I can use to find information within the purchase requisition. So one of the nice things is review process details. Is if this is a closed purchase requisition, but if this purchase requisition was still in workflow, I could see who the reviewer is and that the action that has been taken or where it is at in the process. So very nice. Another item, related documents. I can come down here, open this up. If there was an RFQ or request for quotation associated with this purchase requisition, that would be here. As you can see, there is an invoice number associated with this purchase requisition and also an associated purchase order. So I can come up here and without having to go anywhere else, I can select the purchase order. And now I have access to the purchase order that is associated with that purchase requisition. One of the things is maybe I want to look at the purchase requisition and the purchase order at the same time, and this is just kind of odd. And you know, I have a small screen, I can't really see both things. So if I come up here to the top right again, at the top right of your screen, you see this rectangle. Looks like there might be a little arrow up there. If I hover over that, you can see it says open in new window. So I can go ahead and select that, and it opens up in a new window for me. So if you can see on my screen, I now have access to look at the purchase order and the purchase requisition at the same time. Again, I apologize, I have a small screen. I'll try to make these a little bit smaller so that you can see. So as you can see, I can now have the ability to look at both items simultaneously by opening in a new window. The nice thing when we're back at work, we have dual monitors, we have larger screens. This will enable us to look at multiple things simultaneously without having to open up a new window or a new box or having to go to another space to then bring up that information. So again, very easy. Microsoft Dynamics 365 makes getting to your work environment much quicker, much more intuitive. So that is the conclusion of our third video here with list pages. I hope you're enjoying these videos, and we'll see you next week with the next one. Thank you.